after the completion of interaction. And please do not worry about that. We'll definitely cover all the topics which are in the day by schedule. And kindly mute your mics, everyone. Please do not unmute them during the session.
Yes, we are waiting for the guest to come. Meanwhile, can everybody, did anybody search that the question that I have asked in the last session? Can any of the projects discussed yesterday can be done without using any microcontroller? Is this possible or not? Did they search on it, or can anybody give their opinions on it?
So I'm repeating the question. Yesterday, Mr. Jitin asked that yesterday we have shown some projects to you by using some sensors and interfacing of microcontroller Arduino. And his question was, these types of projects, I mean, can these types of projects can be done without a microcontroller? That's the question. So what is your view on that?
Okay, Venkatesh. Guys, the wait is over. And today we have an interesting personality in the room to share his valuable experience with you. He's a person leading the School of Electronics and Electrical for a long period of time and helping students to bring out their glorious futures to existence. Sir has been the well-wisher of Risk LPU ever since it was started and have also inspired many students of Risk LPU by his invaluable message by addressing students at every workshop we conducted. Now, I take immense pleasure and pride to invite Professor Bhupendra Verma sir to address to students and share his valuable experience with them. Sir, please address the students.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, good evening to all of you. I see a lot of students, 110 students at the moment in this group. And thanks to RISC team who have organized this particular event. Good evening to all. Yeah. Okay. So I've been told that the group which is present here consists of almost all branches of engineering, people from computer science, electronics, electrical, maybe many more. They are here, right? And this is a very good initiative by the RISC student community, which is taking a lot of efforts, and they are being very active, proactive. And I see the activeness today also, that the freshmen who have just joined the university, they have already been brought on a platform by the RISC team, Venkatesh and Jitin, and many more. Congratulations to you all, the team RISC, for organizing this event. And guys, I have few things to share with you. It's very good to see that the students from various disciplines, they are joining one student community. And it is very important that you people, whichever domain, whichever discipline you are pursuing, you should always join hands with the students from other disciplines. Interdisciplinary projects, interdisciplinary exposure, that is going to matter a lot in days to come. And if you start right from the beginning, this kind of platform where you join hands with students from other disciplines, that is the best thing to happen, right? Today's world is getting smarter. We talk of smartphones, smart homes, smart bridges, maybe smart factories. You never know, right? And it does not confine only to one discipline. The smartness of the things and connecting the things onto internet, this does not restrict to only one discipline. It stretches beyond the disciplines. And somebody very famous, maybe very wise people, they have said, in days to come, more requirement will be for system engineers. Instead of talking of computer science or maybe electronics, electrical, mechanical, people who have flair for system engineering will be in good demand. So whichever discipline you are following, it's good that you have opted for after thinking over many perspectives of the discipline, but do go beyond that discipline. Stretch your knowledge to other disciplines also. Perhaps risk is doing that great job by bringing students from various disciplines to share their knowledge and to discuss certain things, because electronics student may need help of computer science students in building algorithms to make the things smarter, and computer science students will need the knowledge of hardware, maybe microcontrollers, Arduino boards, various platforms which are coming, so that they could write code onto it, right? So this kind of handshaking is very much required in days to come. That is what ultimately will lead to what? System engineering. So building a system, building a product needs lot of inputs from other disciplines, right? And uh, if I could see the chat, people are reacting to it also. So if I could see, uh, tech build is, somebody is saying computers cannot exist without electronics engineers. Yes, because ultimately the computer first is a hardware, then you put a software onto it, then it works as a computer. Electronics cannot survive without software, and software cannot be existing in case there is no hardware, right? Because the software is also written onto the hardware to make the things smarter, right? Kushagra, nice to see you here. Your name is coming here, Tech Build, so I could not recognize. You were there in my seminar, the Industry 4.0 also. I very well remember you. So a lot of mechatronics engineers also there. Shivam Sharma is saying I am a mechatronics engineering. Okay, right. System engineering, mechatronics, these kind of multidisciplinary approaches are required in days to come. At the moment, guys, you must be understanding there is one area called software, the other area is called hardware, but the world has already moved to something different. Can you guess what is that difference? What is that different thing? The nomenclature is already has moved beyond what is called software and what is called hardware. What kind of where people are talking about? Yeah, Jitin is saying, Jitin is senior student, I suppose. They are in the risk. So is it Jitin? Are you from the risk community? Okay. So that is the word that
Yes,
Jitin has written. Yeah, firmware. Firmware
sir.
is the word already into the market, people, and you are all using it, right, without realizing that this is what is actually firmware. Firmware is something, some software which is written for a dedicated hardware. For example, let us suppose you have got an Apple phone, right? Your the updates of the software comes only for the hardware designed by Apple. It doesn't apply to any other Android phone, right? Similarly, the Android phones, they have the updates which are only suited to hardware which is designed using Android. Android is an operating system, of course, but updates are for the specific hardware which has been brought by Samsung or many other companies. But Apple has their own proprietary hardwares, so they write the software for their hardware. So that is what we call firmware, which is a software written for a specific hardware. right? So the world is already moving towards firmwares. Yeah, so apply your mind, learn about these kind of things which are coming up in a big way, and AI, ML, robotics, smarter systems, they are going to be the ruling the world, right? Anybody who has done some projects on these kind of things, have got the good understanding, they will be ruling the world. They will be demanded everywhere. So I must say, you have just joined engineering in the first year. So you should have one notion, one aim before you, that I want to learn practical knowledge. Learn by doing, not by learn by reading. No, learn by reading will not work in days to come. Learn by doing. And how do you do it? It can be done even on the softwares. There are various openwares available. The platforms are given by big companies like Intel, Amazon. Various openwares are there, and you can use it without spending any money even. But only thing you have to do is spend time. Spend time. You have to work hard, and let the dreams come into your mind. Think of anything, and then it will happen. I remember in way back in maybe 13 years ago, there was one student in the very first year. Incidentally, I was teaching him. So he opened out to me, and he came to my cabin. Maybe I'm talking of 2013 year. And he came to me. He just asked, "Sir, is it possible to transfer the power wirelessly?" He was so innocent, and he was thinking about it in the very first semester, right? And today he's a professor. Within 7 years, maybe, yeah, he moved to Mexico in one of the universities under funded program. He has recently completed his PhD there and became an assistant professor there, right? I still remember his name. Now we call him Dr. Atit Dutt. He was from Himachal, and he thought about it. And today it is happening. You can charge your mobile phone wirelessly. You can charge your Apple Watch wirelessly. Lot of things are happening, and people are looking towards solutions. For example, I give you a real life situation. uh, Maybe when you go onto airport, sometimes if you have traveled by air for last 7 months, it is all grounded, but domestic airlines have started. So if you have witnessed, there is a big problem faced by people, that when you go onto the airport, you are searching for a outlet to charge your mobile phone, right? And it is rare to find, although they have put the kiosks also. Airtel or maybe other companies have also put up these kind of things there, but still it is greatly in demand. You have to plug in something, then only the charging can happen. And the world is looking for some solution, that if you are waiting in the waiting launch, and that area is wirelessly covered, and you can just, your phone can be charged wirelessly without looking for a power socket. If somebody can give this solution, it will be a very big hit, right? And people are designing those kind of solutions. Think about these kind of things. Think about the problems faced by normal people, uh, public at large, and start thinking about those kind of solutions, utilizing whatever you are understanding in your courses, right? And a lot of things can be done, right? So this is what is my message to all of you, right, in the very first year, first semester. And I'm teaching first year course also. It is my always passion to talk to the freshmen and the budding engineers, because we have to always give them a kind of motivation that this is the way to think about. So I'm teaching 131 ECE 131 to one of the sections, and we can always talk on certain things, maybe through risk or some other platform, if you got some issues with the concepts, right? So with this message, I wish all the best for the team who is doing good effort with you, and let your friends join more and more, and let us become a good engineer, so that you are really different engineers from others. Right? With this note, I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We always abide to your thoughts. And I could still remember that the class you taught us, EC 191, that's completely excitement of science and engineering. And I feel
Mhm.
this session as a summary of the whole semester. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, and again, on the behalf of RISC for your great words and huge support for it. We always take your words noted and implement them where and when needed. Thank you once again for enlightening the room and inspiring with latest updates and teaching us how to think. Thank you, sir.
Sure. And whenever I find time, I will join this workshop in case it is continuing for some more days. Right? Keep me updated on the email, and whenever I feel free, so I will join and talk to the students anytime. And in case you all have any questions, you can approach me through RISC. We can be on a WhatsApp chat also. Let us do something for the betterment of engineering profession. Okay, thank you. All the best.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will surely do that.
Yeah.
Okay, Venkatesh, we can
If
continue with the
somebody
proceedings.
has any question, I can take one or two questions in case anybody wants to ask anything before I leave.
Yes.
Yeah, Saurabh Kumar is saying, sir, I am from first year EC, so from where I learn robotics, AI. Lot of videos, RISC you can approach. They can give you a lot of insights, right? And they can share with you certain links also where to learn these kind of things, AI and robotics. Although we have started a BTech program also this time, BTech in robotics and automation, and one of the course in every semester will be taught by the industry professionals, and it is going on right now. Okay, I'm facing a lot of problems in EC. Anuj Jha, what kind of problems, beta, you are facing? How can I manage? Concepts, okay. Which course? 131, okay. So you can join, there is one class which is going to start, and that is called Recoup classes. So you can join that by sending a mail to your HOD that I want to join Recoup class, and I will be taking that class, so you can join there. Right? And Kushagra is saying, sir, how can RISC and Industry 4.0 together? RISC is already working on robotics and intelligent systems, which is part of Industry 4.0. Don't worry, get connected with them. Yeah. Please give us success mantra. I have already given a few things how to plan your career. Right? Well, thank you very much. Yeah, now you can take the things further, Jatin.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Venkatesh, we can start with the proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. Jitin. And yes, guys, it's a great session and great interaction with the HOS of SEEE. And yes, I can see the excitement of you guys. So let's continue this very session with the same excitement within you. And I would like to request Mr. Chiri Chandan to continue with his presentation on sensors. Over to you, Mr. Chiri. Okay.
Thank you, Venkatesh. Okay, guys, before starting my session, I want to show some experiments we did on our own. And let me share my screen with you. Is the screen visible?
Yes, Chiri.
Okay. First, let me show a Bluetooth RC card, which I made of my own with the reference of taking reference from RISC coordinators. And you can see how it's going work, and it is wirelessly interfaced with a Bluetooth module, which I will tell you in this session how it works. And you can see mobile operating that RC is operated with a mobile. So we can see that a Bluetooth is interface between to connect that module and the phone. And next, I want to show about IR sensors, which was already shown yesterday. To show this video, the only reason is there are 4 motors used in this video. So to maintain all that power balance and connect every motor, we used a motor driver. So I will be telling about that also. Don't worry. And the next, it might be quite interesting to see this video. It is known as Cosmos Lens arm, and you can see it is to understand it. It is holding an Arduino with its arm, and you can see a few motors which are named as servo motors working for that. I hope all are able to see this video. And okay, let's start with the presentation. Okay, now how many of you are really interested in making robots? Okay, fine. Let me see. And this is an home automation. Here you can see a module that is known as relay module, which will be working as an interface between the high voltage electrical components and low voltage electrical components. And in this session, you will be learning about different modules such as relay module, Bluetooth module, GSM module, Wi-Fi module, and servo motors, motor drivers as mentioned. Since it is a lecture, you will be having a question in the middle of the session and in the end of the session, which are very easy. And let's start with modules. These are the main modules which we use in making robots: Bluetooth module, relay module, Wi-Fi module, and GSM module. And in Bluetooth module, coming to that part, we will be using HC05 module and HC06 module. Here you can see HC05 module picture and HC06. The HC05 can be act as master and slave. That is, it can give commands and take commands. And when it comes to HC06, it only takes commands because it acts as slave. And the only difference, this is the point to be noted, the only difference we can find to our naked eye is HC05 has 6 pins and a push button, whereas in HC06 there will be only 4 pins, as you can see here, and there will be no push button for it. And let me show you the working of it, and let me show that video. 1 second. I think the audio is coming.
Yeah, Chiro, your voice is clear. The presentation has been stopped.
Actually, I shared a video.
Yeah, but once start presenting, then they will be able to see.
Okay, okay.
Yes, please give him a minute, guys, so that he'll start sharing his screen.
I think it is visible.
The pin through which the
This video is only to bring
Hi,
idea and
welcome to this
interest,
tutorial
to build
on
more
Bluetooth
robots.
module.
So please note
Here
the
we will be
working
discussing
and,
about
how to
Bluetooth
work on
module, which is version of HC05 or HC06. So let us see how does the module looks actually. Here you can see that it has several pins, starting from the state, the RXT, TXT, the ground, the VCC, and the key. So we will discuss about the pins one by one. Let us see first what is VCC. Actually, VCC is the pin through which the device gets powered. and actually the ground is the pin which completes the circuit. So VCC and ground are the main pins that gives power to the Bluetooth module. The next is the RX and the TX. So actually the Bluetooth module communicates via serial communication, and for that purpose the RX and TX needed to be connected to the RX and TX of our microcontroller. The connection diagram can be seen shortly. And then we have the key pin. The key pin actually is used for bring the module in AT command mode, which is not usually used. Only the pins that are mostly used are the RX, TX, and the ground and VCC. Now, how does it communicate serially? So actually our microcontroller, mostly commonly used microcontroller like the 8051 is works on 9600 baud rate. So we also have our Bluetooth module set on the 9600 baud rate. So the communication between the module and the microcontroller happens at 9600, and then the RX and TX simply are connected to the TX and the RX respectively of the microcontroller. In this way, the Bluetooth module is connected to the microcontroller, and as
I hope, guys, you got an idea that how it is connected and how it works. And let me proceed with, proceed further. And next, as before I said, you will be having a question, and here is the question: which Bluetooth module has 6 pins and a push button? There are your two options, A and B. I want answers in the chat box. Yeah, everyone, everyone are giving correct. Yes, it is B. As mentioned before, it will be having H05 will be having 6 pins and a push button. And next, let's continue with relay module. As you can see in this picture, there is NO, common, and NC. Let me explain you about this. Where you can see NO, that is normally open. That means the relay will be open. So the circuit goes only when you send a signal to close it. That means when you give power to relay, that when you give power to relay, it automatically starts. So when you so to close it, you need only you should send signals to it. So if to continue those both. And when it comes to common, it will be a ground pin. And when it comes to NC, that means it is normally closed. That means it will be when you give input to relay, that will be closed until you give an input to it. And next, you will be coming. Actually, the working of relay module is we can control high voltage electrical devices using these, because it actually works on electrically operated electron magnet, which is only activated when it has low voltage. For example, you can take an Arduino will only work on 5 volts, and it pulls a contact to make a break a high voltage circuit. Actually, this relay module works only as a switch to have a contact with Arduino and other electrical components, such as you can have a phone operated with this, not a phone, with fan and lights of your home through this, and with an interacting with Arduino. And next, here comes our GSM module, and this is you can also call it as GPRS module. It is a circuit that will be used to establish communications between mobile phone and other GPRS system. Since it is a GPRS system, you can have connection with your mobile phone. It is used for reading and writing messages and sending messages. And it also used for monitor your signal strength and also your charging status. Let me give an example of it. There is a movie in South India, mostly, I mean in Telugu language. There is a movie that it will give as an idea that to prevent accidents through this type of GSM modules. And actually, that accident can be prevented by using an pressure module connecting to it. And when we can have an SIM activated to this module, it gives us a message to our mobile, and not only for us, and it also gives the contact saved in it, I mean in the SIM, and also to the control unit and to the police station, so they get reacted. And in this way, you can use this GSM module. And here comes our Wi-Fi module. This is also this can be also used as an wireless interaction. It will work on your Wi-Fi network, and it can be controlled with your local Wi-Fi or through network. This will be having a separate GPIO pins that can be programmed using microcontroller through serial pins. You can see here there it is mentioned RX and 3X. That means receiving pin and transmitting pin. And these are either hosting an application, offloading all Wi-Fi networking functions. That means these also can give, I mean, this type of modules can also give their, I mean, they can have something like you can operate an app, or it will be operating through an app. I hope you all get it. And here comes our servo motor. You can see in this GIF that this motor is operated only with a sophisticated controls, like you can have whatever you call it, may be a throttle or a joystick, and this will be only controlled with these type of controllers. And you can see the part of servo motor, that is a DC motor, and an integrated IC control circuit, and position feedback sensor, and rotating shaft gear. And this is only to bring idea how it works. And a servo, it is used to control to have an precise control of an angle and of linear position. These need and these will be having only angular phase of 180 degrees. And as shown in the earlier video of Cosmoclines arm, you can see that those arms are moving in their anti-clockwise. That both comes in and goes out at the same time, and this be done with the help of these servo motors and motor drivers. These are the main thing to control your microcontroller and all your DC motors, and it acts an interface between the motor and the control circuits, which we can call as Arduino, for example. We know that Arduino, I mean, motors need high power. That means like 12 volts to run, and whereas Arduino needs only 5 volts to run. So the function of motor driver is to take low current control signal from and then turn into higher current. That means it will take low current from the battery, and it will all passes to both DC motors and as well as Arduino. And you can the most frequently used motor drivers are L293D H bridge and motor shield or servo shield, and L298N H bridge. Guys, here is an interesting thing. In these three, you can see an IC, I mean heat sink integrated on its own IC, and this controls the heat when we use it. And sorry for this. And this controls heat when it works. And I hope you all got it. And let me show you the working of motor drivers. And sorry for this happening again. 1 second.
L298N motor driver. So this is the L298N motor driver board. This is the L298N IC. It is dual bridged, so it can handle two motors, 1 and 2. Here are input pins, data pins, and some capacitors and other diodes, power supply, etc. So this one is for motor 1 and this one is for motor 2. So here we have to attach motor 1 and here motor 2. These are the power supplies. This is a 5 volt. This one is ground. And this one is V input. It can handle from 3 volts to 35 volts of power supply. This must be DC power. Here are 4 digital input pins. Pin number 1 for moving motor 1 clockwise. Pin number 2 for moving motor 1 anti-clockwise. Pin number 3 for moving motor 2 clockwise. And pin number 4 for moving motor 2 anti-clockwise. So this is the basic structure of L298N motor driver. So let's test our L298N motor driver. For testing, I got a DC motor. I put on a wheel so that the movement can be observed easily. It is a simple DC motor. So here is our motor driver. First of all, I connected it with the power supply. This is the V in or positive. This is the ground. So I am connecting the motor in this channel. So I connected the DC motor with this channel and connected the power supply. You can see the LED is blinking. This means the motor driver is getting the power. I take out the 5 volt wire and let's see what will happen when I touch each point simultaneously. So the motor is moving clockwise. Now the motor is moving anti-clockwise.
I think guys, you all got idea of how it works. And there is a last question I need to ask about this motor driver. And let me show that question. And I will end that session. So which of the among the following has a heat sink in it? As mentioned before, which among the following has a heat sink in it? Options are below, and I want answers in the chat box. I think everyone is going with A, but the answer is wrong because I think everyone is. I mean, the answer is correct. I mean, A is correct. Sorry for the trouble. I mean, A is correct. I got confused, and I hope all got what I want to say and went into your mind. And believe me, guys, you will be having all support and love from organization. Even I experienced it of my own. And thanks for this opportunity. I'll be overing it to Venkatesh.
Thank you, Mr. Chilchandan. So, when he said that the option A is wrong, I mean, he just said that for confusing you. I don't know. You guys are in great sync that each and everyone is keeping A. It's good that you are being very interactive and attentive. And thank you, Mr. Chiru, for introducing such great piece of devices for us. And we have a fourth year expertise in this very room with us, and his name is Mr. Wahid. He is head of Team Blizzards, which is a mechanical part of Risk LPU. And as I said, Team Blizzards plays an important role in mechanical engineering. It participated in events all over India with e-bike made by them. So I would like to invite Mr. Wahid to interact with the juniors in the room. Over to you, Mr. Wahid.
Yeah, Venkatesh, thank you for inviting me. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hope you all are safe and sound. My name is Wahid, and I am one of the technical coordinator of RiskLPU. It would have been a great pleasure if you have met in personal and had a good interaction. Though it is not possible, but we all are fortunate enough to have such online platforms to interact. Like we say, modern problems require modern solutions. So here at Risk LPU, we have been familiarized with various departments. So let me introduce to electric bike or motorcycle. So how many of you are well known about it, or you know that how it works or what is it? You can type in chat box. Yeah, quite a bit. Tech build. So, mhm. So when we are talking about electric bike or electric motorcycle, these are the automotives or these are the vehicles which are built by electric power. Means these are means in that we use batteries and batteries which store charges, and when you are working on these projects, there are many decisions that you go with. Like when we have started our team Blizzards in 2017, so it was actually an individual team. Then we got joined with Risk LPU, where where all of us being interdisciplinary, like people from electronics, electrical, mechanical, computer science, all of us came together and we started this group. What we do here is we manufacture electric vehicles for competitive events, which means that for every competition we are given a certain rule book. In that rule book we are given some parameters that this much capacity of battery should be used, then this much wheelbase should be there, and vehicles should have this much certain number of weight. So on all these parameters we start our work. So these have a lot more departments, like 5 to 6 departments. One is designing, second is electrical and electronics, third is powertrain and motor. The term motor is being used here is because in electric vehicles there aren't any engines. These are not even hybrid vehicles. These are motor driven vehicles. And also we have braking, because braking is the utmost important part of a vehicle. And fifth is your innovation, means R&D. So R&D is important because for your vehicle to be at most perfect, we need feedback systems. Like we don't know that the vehicle which is running, what problems it have. So to know that, we use sensors and certain modules to get feedback from them. I can see some questions here. No. Amaya, saying you're telling that just for pollution free we use it. See, if you talk about electric vehicles, they're not totally green, because even for running electric vehicles, you need some certain amount of power, and that power is being drawn is what we get from these thermal power plant or geothermal power plants. Everything is there. So from that, for that also, these fossil fuels are used. So it is not 100% green, but you can say that it is a source of alternative, that it can even, that we can even produce electricity from solar panels. um, and yeah, dams are there, this one dams are there from that. Okay. Petrol up ki baar 70 ke par. So when we are talking about electric bike, so whenever you're indulging in such projects, it is not only that we are focusing on our technical aspects, but it is also that we work as a team. So since it is interdisciplinary, so working as a team require that you should understand your teammate. You should know that what are their strengths and weaknesses, and you should act according to it. And also, working in a team will make you learn team management and leadership, people handling skills. These are the utmost important things. Even when you go to industries, whenever you sit on interviews, they always ask you what are your three major skills. They expect you to answer these things, like I'm good at people handling skills, I'm good leader, I can do this. So all these things are major important. And also, when I was telling that which motor is used in electric bike, yeah, in general we use brushless DC motors. It is greater than 70. I can see some questions. Okay. Yeah, so I was talking that um, whenever you're working in such projects, you even have to handle some certain amount of pressure, that whenever in your projects, parallelly you have to cope up with the academic tasks, like you'll be having regular CAs, you'll be having midterm examinations, but you have to manage that as well as your projects. And that is how you become means you pressure handling becomes very easy to you. Lifespan of electric bike is less. See, if you talk about bike, it's not. Uh, if you talk about electric bike, in that lifespan of battery can be less, but not bike, because these batteries, they have certain number of cycles. You can discharge and charge them for certain number of cycles, and after going beyond that cycle, it cannot be reused. 3 to 4 years, no brother, that time has gone. 3 to 4 years means, since nowadays we have lithium ion batteries, lithium ferrous phosphate batteries, so these have very higher lives. You can say like 10-15 years, and have very high charge cycles. Electric vehicles have very less wear and tear and maintenance. See, electric vehicles, they do have maintenance, like I've said, we have mechanical components, so they like chain it need to be maintained. And even if you see that Amflux Motors, it is one of the best. It is one of the best superbike producing, electric superbike producing startup in India. So they have been very good at it. And recently they are planning to be means they are planning to get in market. They have got all their funds, but parallelly they have competitors like have you heard this one? I forgot that name. Just type some electric bike companies which you know, which you have seen, which are very famous. Yeah, Revolt, BMW, Harley is even there. Okinawa, yes, it is there. Hero, Ducati. Okay. So that's what I was telling, that you have to be, means you'll be learning pressure handling skills and also troubleshooting. It's the most important thing. In this whole workshop, you have been learning about this IoT and sensors and everything. So all these are included in electric bike. They have to be included in electric bike. And so when you implement these things, embedded things in your bike, you have some trouble, means while actually learning, you'll be having some trouble and they need to be resolved. So that is what we call as troubleshooting. And Bajaj Chetak 2020. Okay, 40,000 tons of coals. Right, Amartya Sen, you're correct. 40,000 tons of coal are burned per minute. Yes, That's why I told that electric vehicles, they are not totally green, but they are just an alternative. Even in this situation, directly we can't switch to electric vehicles. So that's why companies, they are focusing on hybrid vehicles. Hybrid vehicles in the sense means, uh, those are the vehicles which run both on petrol, diesel, or as well as these lithium batteries. Um, yes. So yeah, I was telling that if you want to start working on these things, when we were in our first year, we had zero knowledge. We learned it from scratch, YouTube videos or from torrent sites, from everywhere. We used to get materials. We started from zero, and then we got to 10. In 2017, we manufactured our first bike. In 2018, we got success, and we got an award in business plan. And 2019 and 20, this year we got the best design award. So these, when you participate in these competitions, they not only have technical, but they also have business plan around, like whatever vehicle you are manufacturing, how it will be implemented, means how you can take it to market level, or how efficient or how economically you can produce it. So all these rounds you have, in that you can participate. It is irrespective of your branch. You can either be from mechanical, electronics, CSC, or anything. So when we talk about engineering, so whenever you do such projects, you always think that you are an engineer, not that I am from electronics or EC or CSC, everything. But you have to think as an engineer. You have to learn each and every department in that means in that project. You have to master it. That's how you'll get success. And hope you guys have got some information. I would love to answer some questions if you ask from chat box. Guddu, but yes, we can use also lithium polymer battery. Last time we have used that. Like it has a capacity of 48 volts, 60 ampere. So lithium polymer batteries, they have very high charge storing capacity, and they also have very long life. How can we use more and more nuclear energy as American submarines and warships use? How come this is related to question? Um, how you raise your fund for your project? See, there are certain things like you can, if you for example, if you're 100%, you have 100% of fund. So in that, you have to spend 80% or 70% by yourself. You have to make a team, and you have to keep money by yourself. But the 20%, you can get it from college, or you can even get from sponsors. Yeah, you can approach sponsors outside the university, or you can approach some of the some of the shops or some of the corporate sectors in nearby, and you can ask them that we are doing so and so project, and we can do this innovation. Can you provide us means sponsorship? Then as per their demand, they'll tell you some certain set of these things that you have to perform, and then they'll give sponsorship. uh, what is the Okay, is any battery is there once get charged can run about 1,000 kilometers? Mm, till at present, see, you can make such battery packs. Means there isn't that type of battery, but you can make battery packs. But it will be very large in construction, that your vehicle will be so bulky. Yeah, but it can go above 1,000 kilometers. Water, power, and hydroelectricity is busy. Or just more space. It is possible. What are your thoughts about hydrogen power engines? See, when you talk about hydrogen power engines, at present in automotives, I don't think so it is possible, because when we are not able to achieve a proper battery powered vehicle, then how can you go to get such means high quality alternative way? Hydrogen power means they are mostly using what do you say, aerospace rockets. Yeah, hydrogen is very costly. Yeah, that is very costly. We use this battery in how many kilometers? Like I told you, we use lithium ferrous phosphate or lithium lipo batteries or lithium ion batteries, whatever you can say. How many kilometer means it is dependent upon your voltage, means your battery voltage, ampere, and also what type of motor you are using. I told you that we are using BLDC motors, brushless DC motors. So these have certain amount of watts, like 1.2 kilowatt, yeah, 1200 watts. So as this amount of wattage increases, there is a increase in torque of the motor and also its power consumption. Uh, so there are hydrogen power vehicles, but I'm talking in the scenario of electric vehicles, means these motorcycles. But there are, I've seen like, but there are few things similar to Formula Ones. Um, yeah, Apollo 11 use attendance. Venkatesh, can you see? Someone is asking about attendance.
Uh, guys, we'll talk about attendance. Do not worry. If you are having any types of queries, you can ask. Wahid bro, you can continue with 2 or 3 questions, and we can
And
end the
Yeah.
session after.
yes, yes, attendance form also was given in chat box. You can mark your attendance there.
So I would like to tell one point that if you want to build an electric bike, your research base should be very strong. So from your desktop itself, you can start that. You can search on the internet that what are the parameters which are required for building an electric bike. There are certain number of software like MATLAB. In that we do calculation. In SolidWorks and any CAD software we do design the components, and in NSys we do analysis. And for all these, like for checking these controls of your electronics, you can use LabVIEW software. So these are the major things which you can do, but main thing is your base should be strong. You have completed your 12 at present, so you might be having basic knowledge of Newton's laws of motion or Navier-Stokes equation, or these small basics. So all what you have studied, these are applicable in your real life engineering projects. So that's what I want to tell you from my side. I always say that our risk motto that we always learn, implement, and we share. So please try to do that. And that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wahid. That's a very informative interaction from your side.
Welcome.
There are a lot of questions that you answered. Thank you very much. We are glad that you answered a lot of questions of our juniors. And juniors, there will be a lot of interactions like these. So do not worry that I'm not allowing much time with our seniors. So today there is no quiz. And fill your attendance form. It's already 7:01. And about college reopening, I also don't know, bro. And fill the attendance form. If you are having any types of queries, message any admin.
Uh,
And
Kushagra, you have been asking about the components. Please contact Priyansh or Banu. They would help you sure where to buy. You can contact them in WhatsApp. And some Basu was asking about hackathons. Yeah, search on internet, go through the pages of IIT Bombay and others, and go through government websites. They will post the hackathons, and when you are in contact with RiskLP, you can surely get about the hackathons. Yeah, that's what, Venki. I answered the Q&A sessions. Kushagra, I'm repeating. Contact Priyansh or Banu. They would help you sure where to buy. Message them in the WhatsApp. Which component you need, from there it will be.
And yes, guys, I just want to say this. We are having, our only biggest source is internet. So do check in internet. We have to learn on our own. It is first step of our learning. I heard this from my senior. So I am telling you this. So search anything in internet. Explore yourself and excel in that field. That's from my side. I just wanted to say this. I saw a message why showing YouTube videos. Actually, we can learn a lot by seeing YouTube videos and by reading in GitHub, and there are a lot of other platforms, Quora, etc. And on the second day, I think in Microbot's presentation, Mr. Raviteja has mentioned some sites in which we can read a lot of information. So that's from my side, guys. Do mark the attendance. And if you are, I'm again saying, if you are having any queries, you can message us.
And yes, Loknath, you can leave, Loknath. If your session has ended, you can leave.
Banu, they are asking for tomorrow's topic. Disclose them, so they will come interesting. And
Okay,
please,
okay.
you can leave. And
Yeah, tomorrow we will be having a total session, not total session. We'll be having e-bikes and electric cycles, where we will show our own e-bikes, which we have made in our lab. We'll show our own e-bikes and one electric cycle we have made during this pandemic time at our home also. We will share it with you and we'll show it to you. And Priyansh bro, I observed that you are trying to say something. You can.
Yeah. I have a correction for you guys. There was one question like which of these module have heat sink? The answer is it's not only like L298 has heat sink. It depends upon the manufacturer who is manufacturing which module, and if they want, they will put the heat sink. Okay, so it's not like L298 will have heat sink.
Yes, Dhruv. When I am talking with that person, like Chiru is giving presentation, I too said the same question. It depends on the manufacturer, and he answered me in a way that okay, it's okay. He's showing in that presentation in which it has heat sink. So regarding that, he asked.
Yeah, I'm just.
I got your point. I got your point.
Clearing the doubt.
Yeah, it's sure.
So that's it for today, guys. As Mr. Banu said, tomorrow we are going to show some electric bikes, and we are having a topic of electric bikes and electric vehicles. And if time permits, tomorrow I can present with an interesting topic, and let's see what will happen tomorrow. Yes, the recorded sessions will be posted in WhatsApp groups. So do not worry about that, guys. And today's session is completed. So after after filling the attendance form, you can leave the meeting. Thank you for attending day 5 of TechFest 2.0. Thank you, everyone.